Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're wondering about the sunglasses, I'm sorry. I forgot to film my intro for this video, but this is a palette bingo, so I can't show you the look ahead of time. Anyway, today's video is actually a lot of fun. I'm doing a palette bingo in collaboration with Bri from Bri Beauty. We decided to do Christmas in July with the best two Oden's Eye Christmas palettes. We drew 5 shades and both of us have done an eyeshadow look using only those shadows. So it's a bit of a challenge and it's always fun to see what the other person came up with. Again, sorry about the sunglasses, super dorky, I know, but if you want to see what this eyeshadow look is, stick around. Okay guys, I have to admit I'm a little bit nervous about this one. So I pulled the numbers quite some time ago. I will show you in the screen what the numbers are. I sent this video to Bri and this is what we're working with. So I'm going to swatch them on my arm and go from there. So yeah, what am I going to do with these colors? My brain automatically saw kind of an expected route, you know, inner corner-ish into the green and deepen with the blue shimmer kind of, and then put red on the lower lash line. That to me was the first option. I like to come up with 2 options at least when I'm doing a palette bingo, because sometimes when I go for my first instinct, later on I kind of regret it and think, well, what if I had done something a little bit different or challenged myself in a new way? As I'm looking at this, I think that this blue shimmer is actually going to pull quite purple if I pair it with the red matte. The red matte is the problem. So if I can incorporate the red matte into any of the 4 other shades, then the rest of the shades are kind of, they're easy, right? If I embrace the problematic shade, maybe everything else will work out. Now the red and this center green shade are actually kind of funky together because it's such a murky yellowy green. It's making the red pull more orange, so that could be an interesting twist, but then that doesn't work with anything else. Whereas if I think that if I go red into purple, it's going to work more easily with this gray shade, which you might not even be able to see, but it's there because it's kind of cool toned, and then the greens could end up on the lower lash line. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. I have no idea how it's going to work out. I'm curious and slightly excited to see. I really want to see what Bri does because it's always so interesting to see how people's brains work differently with the same colors. I have primed my eyes with the Glamlight Icing Primer. Everything that I'm using, per usual, is linked in the description box. Let's go. I'm going to start with the red matte in the Merry Christmas palette. It's called Poinsettia. And I think I'm just going to lay it in the... I don't know, I'm kind of thinking maybe go smoky between the red matte and that dark blue purpley shimmer. So maybe I'll carry it further into my crease like this. And then because I have nothing to blend out that shade, I've got a napkin on my lap, so I'm just cleaning off the brush and I'm gonna gently work the edges. I know that when this video goes up, Bri is traveling. Have you watched her video where she announces where she's traveling? She's going abroad for some very exciting personal plans. I'm delighted for her. I hope that she has an amazing trip full of beautiful memories and nice people and reasonably smooth travel experiences. You should check out her channel. If you don't know Bri, she's very sweet, she's very loving, and she just loves eyeshadow, colorful eyeshadow, indie eyeshadow. So now here's the tricky part. I've laid down the trouble shade. I'm gonna just put that blue purple shimmer right on top of it and see how it goes. I'm thinking it's gonna smoke out nicely. I'm hoping it won't clash too much. With a flat brush, the shade is called Blue Star. And I think I'm gonna lay it down dry first. If you lay it down wet, it's gonna be more foiled, a little more metallic, but it's also gonna stick in place more. I'm gonna lay it down dry because I might want to soften the edges of the shimmer itself. We'll see, but let's take Blue Star, put it here. Okay, I'm placing Blue Star on the center of the lid. When it mixes with the blue, it's gonna go more like murky browny purple. So I'm just gonna leave this here. I don't wanna bring this deep shade all the way to the inner corner. I'm just gonna lay it here. And then I'll go back. I'm leaving it dry. Again, if you add in spray, then you're making it more tacky. and I don't want it to be tacky. I want it to be a little bit more blendable. So back into the red matte poinsettia, I'm just tapping this on top to try to merge them together a little more smoothly. We've got totally different textures, different formulas, and really different colors. So it's a challenge, but I think it can be done. Whether or not it can be done well is a different story. This is reminding me, just these two colors right here, reminding me of the BH Cosmetics Passion in Paris. You guys remember that palette? I don't have it anymore. I passed mine along. That palette was very had a lot of dark blue shimmers, some purple tones, some reddy berry kinds of colors. Okay, I can live with that. I might bring that blue shimmer. This is a challenge. To use the shimmer as a deepening shade is always a bit of a stretch, but I think I'll bring the blue shimmer further into my outer corner as well, maybe all the way into my outer corner, because it is the deepest shade that I have to use today. So I can lay it down and then I can layer. I can build on top of it, and just try to make this outer corner quite deep between the blue and the red. Okay, so now I think that's looking pretty good. Now I want to really lighten up the inner part with this gray matte called Ice Crystal from the Christmas Eve palette. Let's just lay that as an inner corner highlight and also onto this inner third of the lid and try to blend it in with the shimmer. Again, totally different formulas. They're not going to play nicely together. But as far as I'm concerned, challenge accepted. What's interesting with the other colors that are laid down here, this gray matte is turning quite a bit lavender over here. It's subtle, I guess, but it's playing with the pink undertones of the red and then the purple undertones of the blue, and it's going interesting on me. And now, because I embraced that troublemaking color, the red over here, everything else to me is obvious. The rest of the lower lash line, I'm going to use the two greens. Starting with Just Now from Christmas Eve, it will blend in quite prettily with the gray matte as far as formula and color story, because they're both similar in depth almost. They're not too far that there's a big difference. Again, my original plan was to just put the red on the lower lash line, but I wanted to come up with something different, something that didn't feel as instinctive, and challenge myself to do a bit of an odd look, like try something unexpected, something that I wouldn't naturally go for. Sometimes it's a great success, other times not so much. This one remains to be seen. So that out here was the matcha cookies and the lighter green from Christmas Eve, and then of course the gray inner corner. And now I'm going to take a smaller flat brush and dip back into Blue Star, the blue shimmer, and this one I'm going to spray. Again, being that this is my deepening shade, I do want to have a little bit more depth in the very outer lower lash line, because that will help tie into the depth of the upper outer corner. So I'm going to use Blue Star, but I'm placing it down. I'm just going to tap it on this spray brush, and it's going to mix with the green and change colors a little bit with the green. And then any extra can go back into my upper lash, like upper corner, and merge into what's already there. I think that's fine. I just want to bring in a tiny bit more matcha cookie. All of a sudden, it's no longer reminding me of Passion in Paris, because there was no green in Passion in Paris. But the upper lid, Passion in Paris. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to choose something from my waterline, do the other side. You know the drill. I'll be right back. This is how it all turned out. You'll have to tell me in the comments what you think, but let me first tell you what I did to finish off, as usual. I have black in my waterline, and then on my face I've got this ColourPop blush in the shade Matchmaker from their Mulan collection, mascara, and on my lips I'm wearing the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Lava Cake. Okay, so that's it. Actually, that's it entirely. Check the description box for links if you want. But as far as the look goes, like I said, above the lower lash line really is reminding me of the Passion in Paris palette, which was a lovely and beautiful quality palette. I think I've done that kind of a look before. Maybe that's why I was feeling confident with the red and the dark blue purple shimmer, because I, somewhere in the far past, I had done something with those colors before. But the lower lash line with the greens and then the gray inner corner is definitely different. I haven't done this combination before. Passion in Paris certainly didn't have these colors either. So I think it's a fun mix of the two ideas, and I'm really happy that I went with my second option. There's nothing wrong with the first option. It was perfectly fine. It probably would have resulted in certainly an easier, but maybe a more cohesive look, I think. But I was trying to challenge myself and push myself a little further. So I'm glad that I pushed myself a bit and decided to pair the red and the blue shimmer and try to get purple. Try to play with the color wheel a little bit and experiment. I can't wait to see what Bri does. She's always creative. I'm curious. I'm knocking things over. I'm curious to see what she does, and I hope that she's had as much fun with this challenge as I have. I always enjoy these collab videos. They're a great time. Palette bingo in general is fun, but like I said before, it's so interesting to see how somebody else interprets the exact same color story and how they decide to wear them. So be sure to check out Bri's channel in general and check out her video as well for today's look. Her video is linked down below in the description box. I hope you will enjoy it. I'm gonna go watch it right now. So I hope you guys will consider liking and subscribing to both of our channels if you want to see more content like this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.